Today we are chatting about the beautiful, the classic Star Jasmine. Let's go. When you think about timeless garden plants, Star Jasmine has to be among the top. It is such a crowd pleaser. It has been a favorite of garden enthusiasts for decades upon decades. It is such a gorgeous plant with really an amazing versatility in the landscape. It can be used in a few different ways. We're gonna chat about those in just a bit. But first, let's take a closer look. The Star Jasmine gets its name from its unique star-shaped white flower. The petals are so delicate and have such a unique curled in margin to it. It's absolutely incredible. And it almost makes it look like the flower itself is in motion, kind of like a windmill, if you will. And then if you step back and you look at the whole cluster of flowers, it's just this big white puff that delivers such an incredible scent. And it's really nostalgic for a lot of people growing up with this beautiful scent in their landscape. And it's stayed such a popular plant all these years because of its incredible attributes. It's super easy to grow, in fact, great for beginners. It's scented, it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's relatively drought tolerant once it's established. So it has all these wonderful characteristics that make it an awesome choice for the garden. And of course, when the plant is not in bloom, you still get the beauty of that foliage. All right, you've seen the jasmine up close. Let's look at the quick facts. Star Jasmine is best in USDA Zones 8 through 11. Star Jasmine is evergreen. When on the ground, max height is about 2 feet, but tendrils can reach up to 20 feet. Plant in full sun to part shade. Watering needs are moderate to regular. This plant is native to Southeast Asia. Peak blooming is spring and summer, but will often bloom repeatedly. And in other notes, Star Jasmine, of course, has an incredible scent and is deer tolerant. All right, so how do we use Star Jasmine in the landscape? We see it probably more often than not used as a vine. Planted over an entryway trellis or an arbor, the tendrils will twine around the posts and eventually reach together and touch and create an epic archway. Use it on patio columns, on a front porch, so you get that scent every time you walk in and out of your house. Use it by entrances where people will be walking by and experiencing that amazing aroma. Star Jasmine as a vine is really that classic, timeless look that you see in so many landscapes. It has such a dramatic visual appeal to it. Now, Star Jasmine will support itself if it has something to grab onto and twine around. Tendrils will wind around and really be able to support the weight of the plant as it climbs up. You can also grow Star Jasmine on surfaces that are flat. And the way you do that is with cabling or wire. And I like to use galvanized wire. That way, you don't get a rust on whatever surface you're applying it to. You can use concrete anchors if you're going into stucco. Just note that if you have plants going up against stucco, you do run the risk of having that stucco or surface become damaged over time from the moisture that the plant gives off. So you get to make that decision, but it looks incredible when it's on a vertical surface. All right, now, besides its ability to grow vertical, it can also grow horizontal. Star Jasmine is also widely used as a ground cover. It can sprawl out and cover a space pretty quickly because it grows fairly rapidly. So if you have a big area that you need to cover very quickly, the Star Jasmine might be the solution for that area of the landscape. Now, with that said, it will have the tendency to sort of sprawl and grow past beyond its intended borders. So it will have to be selectively pruned or edged or maintained somehow to keep it within its border. You can use pruning shears, hand clippers, or even a hedge trimmer. You can also create sort of a formal look to it because it has the ability to be shaped and pruned very easily. Now, it'll only get about 2 feet tall if you're using it as a ground cover. So you can use it as a foreground to other taller growing plants. And the other thing you want to be careful about is planting it by fences, especially wrought iron, where it has the ability to send up those tendrils and twine around. It can become kind of a maintenance issue. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about if Star Jasmine is the right plant for your landscape. Now, stylistically, Star Jasmine is definitely more traditional, more on the classic side of things, and it could be informal or it could edge towards formal. And that's not to say that you can't use it in other settings like modern or contemporary, but it's most often seen in more traditional or classic kinds of landscapes. And that is it for Star Jasmine, the classic garden beauty. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today on yet another video. Appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification if you're watching on YouTube. I will see you guys on the next one, and as always, happy planting.